So what's your plan for dealing with all of these food holidays coming up? This is my first Thanksgiving on Tirzepatide, so let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Carrie, and I'm the NP on a GLP, and I'm someone who's lost 50 pounds on Tirzepatide and 110 pounds overall. Just a quick disclaimer. This channel is for educational purposes only. I am a nurse practitioner, but I am not your healthcare provider. Always consult your licensed healthcare provider for decisions about GLP-1s and for any of your healthcare decisions. So this year we're traveling to see family for Thanksgiving, and I am going to be bringing an apple cake. And yeah, even though I'm on Tirzepatide, my husband's on Tirzepatide, and frankly, a lot of the family's on Tirzepatide too. I'm going to bring the full sugar, full carb version. But when I'm traveling like this, I like to package up my dry ingredients, mix them all together in a vacuum sealer bag and take them with me. That way I don't have to worry about having sugar and flour and baking soda and all that stuff separately. So I'm going to let you guys hang out with me while I do that. I am extremely likely to forget the recipe when I leave the house. So I'm going to write down the information I need to know on the bag in a Sharpie here. And I need to know that I need to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla and 4 cups of apples. It's an apple cake. I don't know if I told you that. 4 cups of apples, peeled, core dice. I don't need to write that down. I know it. But I'll take the vegetable oil in the exact amount I need. Eggs, I'm going to use freeze-dried, sugar, cinnamon, salt, vanilla, flour, baking soda, apples. That should be it. Then I'm going to put baking instructions, 350 degrees, greased pan. That's something I'm likely to forget. And how long? Oh my. My recipe doesn't tell me how long. Yeah, I guess I'll guess. All right. Okay, so I need 2 cups of sugar. Let's pull that out of the cupboard here. I know I'm going to need the flour too. Actually, sugar, flour, oil, salt, cinnamon. That looks like cinnamon, and baking soda. All right. Is that it? Nope, I said I need eggs too, huh? We have chickens, and they give us too many eggs in the summer, so the extras I freeze dry, and I use them in baking. They cook up exactly the same as fresh raw eggs, but it's powdered form, so it'll travel easier. Okay, so I need a couple cups of flour, a couple cups of sugar. Let's get out my measuring cups. So if I was going to do this just for us, 2 cups of sugar. If I was going to do this just for us at home, I would not make a full carb version. Instead of sugar, I would probably use allulose. Are you guys familiar with allulose? My sugar's kind of clumpy. I got to chop it up. Allulose is, as a nurse practitioner, frankly, it is my preferred sugar substitute. And I actually recommend it to my patients. It is the only sugar substitute that appears to be metabolically healthy. Doesn't raise your blood sugar, doesn't raise your insulin. And actually, if you put it on something that has carbs in it, it decreases the impact of those carbs on your blood sugar. So for example, if you're having strawberries and you want some sugar on them, you can put allulose on instead, and it will actually make it so that the strawberries, the glucose in the strawberries doesn't raise your blood sugar. It's pretty cool. So I always keep a bag of it in the cupboard. I can't find it in the stores at this point, but you can get it on Amazon. It's definitely more expensive than sugar, but it's about 70% as sweet as sugar, so not quite as sweet as sugar. But you can use it 1-to-1 in baking, or you can add a little more if you want to bring the sweetness up to the level it would be if it was real sugar. But it has no aftertaste. Eat a lot of it. It can cause some GI distress though, so you got to watch out for that. Okay, let's get this all broken up here. Hopefully that's not too loud in the microphone. But I need 2 cups of sugar. And you know what? I'm going to mix this all in a bowl before I put it in my bag. 2 cups of sugar. Let's see if I can. That's almost a cup. I'm just going to add a little more. Mix that up. My second cup. I'm going to have to break this up some more. Hopefully the flour's not like this too. Not really. All right. Is that enough to get another cup out? Yeah, almost. It's a little clumpy, but I can take care of it when I'm cooking at my sister's house. All right. 2 cups of sugar. Done. Let's add in the flour. 2 cups of sugar, 2 cups of flour. You may notice that my sugar and flour in vacuum sealer bags. That's because I buy things in, I buy several at a time and store them. And I vacuum seal them to help keep them fresh while they're in storage. Fresh and dry. Okay, 2 cups of flour. All right. Let's move that out of the way. Then we need 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Here's my teaspoon. Here's my cinnamon. I'm overfilling my my teaspoon because I like a lot of cinnamon. Set that over there so I don't do it twice. Half a teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to shake this over the sink to make sure I don't get too much in my mix here. Okay. Then I need a teaspoon of baking soda, not powder. Baking soda. Let's use the other end of this so we don't get cinnamon in it. 1 teaspoon baking soda. And I need 2 eggs. So my freeze-dried eggs, 2 tablespoons equals 1. This is vacuum sealed too. Here's my jar opener. 2 tablespoons of egg powder equals 1 raw egg. And then you add an equal part of water to this when you're mixing it. So I need to add on my bag here that I need to add a little bit of water to compensate for the egg, the water that's not in the eggs. So that's 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, that's equal to 1 egg. 2 more. And we have 2 eggs worth. All right. Okay, did I get everything? So 2 eggs, 2 cups of sugar, cinnamon, half a teaspoon of salt, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of baking soda, 4 cups of eggs, which I will prepare at my sister's house rather than taking them here so that I can make it fresh. So we also need a cup of vegetable oil and a teaspoon of vanilla. The vanilla, I'll just steal some from my sister. She won't mind. Won't be as good as mine because mine is homemade. Hers will be store-bought, but that's okay. But need something to take oil in. This will work. So I need, I think, 1 cup of oil. That's right. So the recipe calls for vegetable oil, but I don't like vegetable oil in my house or in my body. And I'm not going to do that to my family. So I'm going to use avocado oil for this. The taste will be fine. You could use really any non-seed oil. You could use a seed oil too, but seed oils and vegetable oils, those are industrial products. They're not food. They are not good for you. They're highly inflammatory. They cause damage to your body. And I highly recommend you avoid them. I tell my patients the same thing. We should be eating real food. You can't press soybeans and corn and get oil from it. It has to be put through a highly industrialized process using hexane and chlorine. And the resulting product is not something that our body recognizes as food. And we should be eating real food. You can press avocados and get oil from it. So I'm using avocado oil. And I did say I need 1 cup, right? Yes. And I'm just going to take that in a little mason jar here. And what kind of measure do I have? I'm going to use my half cup measure so I'm not having to pour a big cup into the smaller one. I would have no problem using olive oil. The other flavors in this are gonna cover the taste of that, so that's not a big deal. What do you think? I'm gonna make a mess. You know what? I'm gonna use my jar filler for this, because otherwise, I know me, this is gonna be all over the counter. Well, let's do it this way. All right. There's half, and I believe this is a 1 cup jar, so I should pretty much fill it. Okay. Put that in the sink here. Okay, so I think we got everything. That fits. Jar this up. Okay, so we got eggs, oil, sugar, ground cinnamon, salt, vanilla, flour, baking soda, and apples. Right. So I'm going to mix this up just a little bit. And then I'm going to put it into my bag. And I'm going to vacuum seal it. I'm not going to vacuum seal it. I'm not going to vacuum it. I'm just going to seal it so that it won't spill. And then when I go to open it, I'll just tear it open with a pair of scissors or a knife. Pour it into a bowl. Mix up the wet ingredients, which I need to write on 4 tablespoons of water for 2 eggs, plus 4 tablespoons of water. Okay. Now I just got to get all of this into here, which is frankly easier said than done. Well, that's a big chunk right there. Think I can do this without making a mess? If I'm really gentle. So far, so good. I am spilling a little bit, which I don't want, so let's just go like this. Okay. That was not the best idea. Not everything I do works out the first time. Let's just go like this. Then I'll be able to pour the rest in. So my plan for Thanksgiving this year, as far as food, is I'm going to take my shot. That's my plan. I'm going to take my shot and I'm going to let the Tirzepatide do its job. Normally, I don't eat a ton of carbs. I don't eat much sugar. But I'm going to have a piece of this cake and I'm going to have a little bit of whatever's there that looks good. But I know the Tirzepatide will help me just have a little bit. And that'll be okay. So my plan, just take the shot. I know that after the holiday weekend, my weight's going to be up a little bit. Carbohydrates always put weight on me, but it's water weight and it comes back off as soon as I go back to eating a little better. Usually takes 2 or 3 days for that water weight to come off. I know it. I expect it. Doesn't upset me. All right, there we can pour the rest in easily. If my hands will work. I didn't practice this beforehand, you can tell. All right, there we go. Okay, then I am going to seal this up inside the bag with my vacuum sealer. Just like this. Hit seal. Anytime now. Almost done? Come on. Always takes longer than I think. There we go. All right. So there we have it. Makings of a delicious sugary dessert for my family. So tell me in the comments how you're planning to handle this Thanksgiving and the rest of the food holidays that are coming up. Drop a comment and we'll share our experiences. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. Again, my name is Carrie, and this is NP on a GLP, and I'll see you in the next video.